Hello, everybody. Let's hear it for the awesome video team for that awesome intro.
That was brilliant. It was a brilliant intro.
We love our intro music. I'm just, you caught me stalking my bait bag, and Prophet is watching me stalk my bait bag because we've got demos today. We've got amazing information for you. We are going to start right off by finding out where you guys are from. So please leave us a comment. Let us know where you are from.
I saw so many people already doing the things and buying boxes. It's so cool to see how dedicated people are.
I'm seeing Nico is from Japan and it's 2 a.m. in the morning. That's dedication. Love that.
Ainsley Sykes is on. She's got a puppy. Hi, Ainsley from Edmonton. Brazil, Germany, the Netherlands, Saskatoon.
Sweden, Germany, Netherlands, Brazil.
Listen, as part of the masterclass, we've given you guys the opportunity to watch our full focus forward tutorial. This is going away in 2 days. So there is a booklet that you can download so that you have this forever. If you have downloaded, let us know you got it. If you've been working on the focus forward, let us know. If not, make sure you get to the masterclass, the link. Well, I'll just put up the link here while we're talking. There's the link. If you're not a member of the masterclass, please join. Can you put that light on for me, please? Just hit the on off so that I'm like, there. I don't think it made any difference, but that's okay. I feel good about it. Yep, Debbie said she downloaded. If you're in Facebook, I did a little live answering questions. There was a bunch of questions about the focus forward and about some of our the first video on tight turns here. Well, let's start off by giving away prizes.
That's a good way to start.
Definitely. So, we have a gem.
Yesterday, you know what? We're going to set people up for success today. If you would like to win a prize today, and the prize we're giving away is one of my favorite tug toys, and that is from For My Merles. I love it because you can hide it in your hands, and if you have a dog that destroys toys like Kim's Belief, this I think is pretty indestructible. So if you would like to win one of my favorite tug toys, let's have some hearts for My Merles. Share this broadcast. Share it on social media, on your Facebook page, on your Instagram, on your stories. Share it and then come on back in the comments and let us know that where you shared it. We will put that in a draw. And yesterday, we gave away one on our last live, and I said I'd give away a second one. So the second one was drawn because for those of you who are coming in late, maybe you're sleeping right now or actually working at work. So you can't watch this until after. We want it, anybody can win a share. So we keep it available for everybody. We're going to give away 2. Thank you to the people at For My Merles. Yesterday's winner, is from Sweden, Enya. Ophelia Olsen.
I know her.
Do you?
She is running with Shibas.
Oh, good going, Ophelia. It's crazy.
Super inspiring because she's I don't know many Shibas in the country that runs like her dogs.
That's awesome.
Incredible.
Awesome.
Well, big congratulations to Ophelia for winning. Okay. Also, in our first live where we covered a lot of topics, we talked about the pain points of dogs not turning tight when we expect them to turn tight. We talked about some of the reasons that dogs might turn tight, and we started the process. We are all, the 3 of us, we believe that great behaviors start away from equipment. And so we shared the first steps that we have with our dogs on teaching tight turns away from equipment. And we're going to carry that on today if you haven't watched the first part in this masterclass, you can still watch it. You go to the link posted here, dogsat.com/agility2025, and you can join the masterclass and watch it there. Okay. The point I was getting to is during that presentation, there were a lot of aha moments. Some of them, I think one of them came in the comments. Somebody had a great comment that they shared. And we said, share your gems on our Facebook page or on the lobby of the masterclass or on YouTube. And the team gathered them all up, and the three of us, actually, the team narrowed it down, and we put in our own votes. And the winner, I actually have here, one of you two can read the gem from, what's Sarah's last name? I think we'll find out in here. Sarah Dubb.
Sarah Dubb. It says, if your dog doesn't understand tight turns, you might fundamentally not understand. Using props has its lace, but you can go back and teach them how to do it. You're always a student, which is why this sport is so fun.
Probably using props has its place was probably it. We talked yesterday about what some of the props that people might use when they want their dog to turn tight. So putting a toy down so that the dog drives to the toy. What are some of the other ones we talked about?
Being right at the wing, shaping the turn as a handler, or placing a fence, using a multi-wrap. We also talked about multi-wraps.
Multi-wrap, or putting something up like a barrier, so that the dog can't go wide. These are props, and we talked about the difference between a prop and actual training to create what you want. Now, the three of us, we use props, but we use them intentionally, and we don't use them habitually. Too many people use props habitually. What I mean by that is Max, Enya, and I, we will use a prop as part of an education process for our dogs. So by the time the dog is like a year and a half, 2 years old, they might never see a prop for the rest of their career. If they do, it might be occasionally as they start trialing, maybe we have to put a prop in and then we take it out. That is intentional use of a prop. Habitual use of a prop is you've been doing agility for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and you keep bringing those props back out. They are now they are exposing that your dog has not got the education you thought you put in, which is exactly what Sarah Dubb referred to. And so we talk about, the three of us, we talk about, as trainers, props give you success now. That's why people love them, because it makes you feel good about yourself.
And it shows you maybe that the dog is capable of doing what you want them to do. Like this whole masterclass is about tight turns. So putting a prop in might show you that my dog can actually turn tight, and that makes you feel good. But then you kind of start depending on them and they become crutches, because then suddenly your dog cannot turn without that prop. So that's what we want to teach you, how you can help the dog learn how to turn without the prop.
And props, let's face it, props are reinforcing for the handler.
Yes.
Because you can live in your fairy tale belief land that your dog has understanding how to turn tight because they can do it with a prop in. And what you don't understand is the behavior of the turn is attached to the prop. So that's what we talk about. You can see success now, but for the rest of that dog's career, you have to keep putting in effort to remind them, please turn tight, please turn tight. What we are sharing with you today is we're going to put effort in now to get great understanding away from equipment so that we can have success for the whole career of our agility dogs. And that goes back to, I was telling Max and Enya, up here, this is a fitness area. This used to be a classroom when I taught in person on a regular basis. And right here was a wall that was a whole whiteboard. And on top of the whiteboard, I had this quote for decades. Actually, this quote was written in my journal probably for 30 years. I would just rewrite it with every journal as a reminder. And I wrote it on the top of the whiteboard. Anybody that's ever been to this building for a lecture, you would have seen this quote. It's by Zig Ziglar. And it says, the main reason for people's lack of success in life is their willingness to give up what they want most of all for what they want right now. So that comes to our question for you for today. And the question is, do I have a question here? Oh, here we go. Max, you want to read the questions?
Yes.
There it goes.
Away. So what is your biggest agility goal you would love to achieve?
So if Max, Enya, and I were your fairy godmothers, Max, you're a fairy godmother.
Yeah, just wave that wand. And we will just...
Right. Avada Kedavra. Oh, no, that's the wrong one.
So what is it?
Right,
what is Harry Potter's?
Yeah, that's Harry Potter's, but that was the kill you thing. So I'm gonna
see. Chelsea knew. So if we had a magic wand that wasn't meant to kill anyone, if we had a magic wand, the three of us, which of course we do, what would your goal be? For like, what is your ultimate goal that you would love to achieve with your dog and agility?
I love some that I'm reading already. It says
a lot of people say that MACH title, and I
that is an AKC Master of Agility Championship. I think that's what it stands for.
My dream is to participate in the World Championships one day.
I love that dream. That gave me goosebumps, Amanda.
Love that.
And we have confidence in handling and competing. To have the knowledge and ability to be the perfect handler.
I love having as
much fun as possible with my dog at a World Championships as a competitor. I love that.
Lots of clean runs.
So the consistency, yeah.
Success at higher levels. That's so awesome. I see so many cool goals.
So many good ones. My first cue.
Distance handling.
I'm a new novice person and I would like to go to nationals with my, I think the GSP is German short-haired pointer, is it?
Yeah.
Beat up my dog. That's a good one.
To complete an AWC again one day. My first AWC was in Finland. You know, when we discussed what our question would be today, I said, I'm worried that people might be too like shy to share their goals with us. I love that you guys feel safe in this space, because our goal is to help our students reach all of their goals. And I just love that you guys are sharing these goals and that they are amazing. They're amazing goals.
Yeah. You have the crafts, competing at crafts agility final. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of awesome goals.
So I want you to think about these goals. Think about the goals and go back to that quote from Zig Ziglar that if you keep in front of you, and that's why I used to write this quote out in every journal that I had, keep in front of you, what is it you want most of all? So many of you have shared in the comments what that is. Write it down for yourself now. Because every day we make a decision, and some of the decisions are unconscious and some of them are very conscious. So an unconscious decision, or like we might say, I want to be in the best shape of my life. That's a goal. I want to be in the best shape of my life by the end of this year. So I set that conscious goal, but unconsciously, I might be eating ice cream at 9 o'clock at night and not really recognizing the impact that has on
your goal.
Is it effort now? Just go to bed, don't eat ice cream at 9 o'clock at night? I want the success of tasting that ice cream. That means more effort later. And that takes you further away from what you want most of all. And we see this. So, I mean, you just have to look at social media to see it in agility, right?
I mean, in like training with young dogs on equipment, for example, like a biggie for us, and the hashtag that we've used also is the great behavior before obstacles. So that's choosing the effort now to train things properly away from equipment. So when we transfer them to equipment, our dog is confident enough and can execute what we're asking for in a safe way. I think another one that we see quite often is, for example, a start line, that you want to run a sequence and your dog is pushing the start line a little bit. So they stand up or they are walking a little bit, but you have your sequence in mind. So maybe you're letting go of that start line because you want to run the sequence. That's giving up what you want in the future for what you want right now. Right now you want the sequence, but in the future you have this goal, and then suddenly you don't have a start line anymore. So it's
it could
so
be start lines, it could be knock bars, it could be seesaw performance, right? Like, what is so important that you'd be willing to give up your future for it?
Yeah.
And just know that you are giving it up. Sorry, Max. We keep interfering with you.
No worries. Basically, there's like the easiest formula ever. It's very easy said, not so easy done. But success comes and will always come from doing the right thing over and over again.
Yeah.
So you just need a structure and you need that goal, and then you need to work towards that goal. So effort now, and that transfers to the whole agility, that transfers to your competing, that can also transfer to your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think we see in the comments there are some big goals. We have Sarah here. She say, I want to win the World Championships again.
Did you guys see Sarah win Worlds? I remember when Sarah won Worlds.
When she did, but
Sarah is from Denmark.
Yes.
Amazing.
I know her. I know that she won, but I wasn't doing agility back then when she won the World Championships.
That's because Sarah and I are older than you two. We're not saying we're old, Sarah. We're older than those two.
But I just wanted to say that even if you're watching this and you're saying, oh, but my goal is not to go to World Championships. Maybe my goal is not even to compete. The goal can still be that you want completely stress and conflict-free training with your dog, where you are as good as you can be as a team. And that is also bringing back to what we talked about with, for example, the start line, or any choice that you're making to reach that goal.
So this goes hand in hand with what you just said. That your dog maybe, so Gucci has a lot of distractions. So your focus should not be on running courses. Your focus should be on connection, on the dog finding joy in working with you. And then slowly, like Max said, what is the line you said, Max? It's repeating the success.
Yes, the right thing every day. Over and over again will lead to success ultimately.
I love that.
And additionally to you, Beverly, the cool thing about that is you realized you shouldn't set your goal on competing right now, because that's not what your dog's needing right now. But the awesome thing is that your 100% of right now is you want to get Gucci better with the distractions. You're working on that and you're putting the effort in that. That will give you ultimate success with having less distractions and working better in different environments. That doesn't mean that in 6 months' time or in 5 months' time, your 100% is something way different.
Yeah.
And that's the part about learning, and also mentioning handling 360 in here, where like your goal can be the first layer. That's the first thing that is most important. If you build a house, the foundation is what's gonna keep your house where it is and not break down.
Exactly.
So basically, that would be your 100%, and then along the way, your 100% keep getting higher because you're raising the bar, and that's the cool thing about progress.
Yeah,
Ultimately, Beverly, everybody, every single one of us, we're just in it for fun. 100% of us. I don't think there's anybody in the sport of agility whose priority is not fun. 100%. Yeah. There isn't if you have high goals, then you're not in it for fun. We are 100% in it for fun. And that's what Max mentioned, handling 360. If I think of my 5-year-old dog, when she was 18 months old, she couldn't do a tunnel. She wouldn't go over a jump if there were people looking at her. And my goal was just maximize joy for this dog. So it was chasing me, chasing things. It was just doing one small thing. My goal was not about her winning a world championship. Yes, every dog I get, I believe I can win a world championship, but very quickly I saw this one might be different. And I need to have a goal to have her life be the most joyful possible. And that, as Max said, it's 5 years. I think every dog that I've had has been on a world team before they were 3 years old. Feature won a gold medal at AWC when she was 3. Thissy, 5 years old for her first time, and it didn't matter because we just had fun together. If your goal is bring out the most joy for the dog, and you're doing it in a way that has clarity, and that's why the 3 of us so firmly believe in what we have in our classroom is games that the dog and the handler can be successful and have fun with. And then you just do that 1% every day, and you're on your way. Suddenly you find yourself at AWC.
True.
Absolutely. And I think even if in the, like I said, in the long run, you don't have the goal to compete, maybe that's not even for you. It's not something that you're interested in. The goal can still always be that you want to be the champion of your backyard. Like, you want to be as good as you can be in your training and in your relationship with your dog. And that means a conflict-free and stress-free training. And it still means that you want to do it as safe and well taught as possible for your dog. So
I think that's so important, Enya. Enya has said that line twice this afternoon. So important. Conflict and stress-free training. That's what we want. Conflict and stress-free training, because slowly, that's what will grow the joy for the dog, for sure. Right?
And you want to regardless of the level, the goal, and the ambition that we have.
So often the conflict and the stress is there when you take a dog, and let's say you go to an agility class, and the first thing they say was, well, we're going to put the dog on leash, and we're going to go over these jumps, and we're going to have him walk up and down this dog walk and this A-frame, and the dog has no confidence, and that's not fun. And maybe 1% of the dogs will learn to have fun that way, but you're not hedging your bets to make sure your dog loves the sport. If you teach it without the equipment, you are creating an environment where you have conflict and stress-free training, which means joy can grow, for sure. Okay, so many great comments in here.
Yes, good ones.
What I want to do now is I want to just do a little recap from yesterday. We've got some dog training that I want to show you. And I know from the comments that I've seen in the masterclass itself in the lobby, a lot of you are doing this homework, which is grand. So I'll just get Prophet out, and I'm going to review what we did yesterday, or what we did in video 1, and then where we are going next. And I'm just going to give you a little spoiler alert. I asked you to make a box. This box is not where I would start with a dog. This box is about 14 inches or 15 inches. I don't know in centimeters. That would be, I don't
35.
know.
14 is, yeah.
12 is 30.
Yeah.
Right. So, and also what I've done, when I say I mean Chelsea, and I can't lie because she's sitting right here. That's my idea. I took another piece of cardboard and somebody magically glued a yoga mat on there so that it will go inside there and serve two purposes. You're going to see them shortly, but I'm just going to get up there. I'm going to just do a quick recap of where we started, and then I'm going to share what we're going to do next. Okay, so I'm going to, I wish there was a way I could take you guys off the screen and let your microphones be active, but I don't think that I can do that. Let me just see if there's something, no, from the settings, I can ban you from the studio.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Enya.
I took Enya off because I'm seeing if, oh, Enya, can you try talking right now? No. No, well, so I think I'm going to leave. It's just going to be a small picture of me because I want Max and Enya to be able to talk through this. Okay, so I'm going to get my dog. I'm going to go change. Oh, the camera's set up. Okay, Betty break. Straight.
On the screen, you see singing Susie G.
Singing Susan. So I think one of the big things from the last live that we had lots of comments about was that when we gave you the homework to teach the spins on the flat, we said to name it as the first letter of what you want your tight turns on a jump to be. So that is for Susan is going to be R and Lily. With the rolling R, like.
Sorry, Enya. So I had you start with your dog in front and just either use a target stick or lure to get them to go to the right or to the left. Or for those of you who don't want to use right and left, it's going clockwise or counterclockwise. Clockwise is always a turn to the right. So, and then you're going to reward that. Lee. So that's what we wanted at first. Get to a place. Now you might still be a place where you're doing this and then using your hand to help the dog because maybe the dog isn't recognizing the cue right away. And that's okay. What we don't want is we don't want this. Lee. Did you see the difference?
There was a small moment of patience to give the dog the chance to offer the behavior.
Exactly. What did you call that yesterday, Max?
Moment of silence.
Moment of silence. So I did Lily. And then if the dog wasn't moving, then you could help them with your hand because then they get a chance to learn that. Okay, moving on. This is where the box comes in. The first thing we're going to do is shape the dog to go in this box. And that's why I would start with one probably 50% bigger if this was the first time that you've ever done this. And all that you're going to do, the dog is going to look in it and you can just give them a cookie, search. Give them a cookie for getting their paws in and waiting, see if they're search when they offer, getting one paw. If they don't offer, I find that going down lower, that the dog's more likely because the food now, the focus is down here. They're more likely to offer something. Oops, sorry. Cook. So eventually I want my dog moving in this search. So I want them to feel comfortable going in and out. So when they can get 4 paws in the box easily, search. They don't have to go into a sit.
Yeah. Notice how Susan is taking her time and the duration. So she doesn't want any craziness jumping in there. It's just a calm shaping exercise. And then when he's in there, there's like a calm little moment. And then she gives her search cue.
And strike. So that's all. We're going to progress right now. We'll give this a break. We'll come back and do more in a minute, but that's a good place to get to. All right, buddy. Can I have my
just
card?
start shaping the box, but also, like Susan said, that this is not the first size that she would start with. Prophet did this before. So if this was the first session for Prophet, maybe the box would be a little bit bigger, so he didn't have to squeeze into the box. So if you're starting shaping your box, then like we said in the end of the last live, that you should find a box that is about the length of your dog, but to be square.
Did I give away my
No, you didn't.
Oh. So we had so many great gems yesterday that I said we needed to do an honorable mention prize, because there were so many great gems. Did we get a so do we know what her gem was? I might have to go over to Slack and find it.
Okay,
so
I'm going to take the moment where you're searching for answering one quick question that I see here, because I feel your question and I think we can help you. So Basinski writes, I like how exercises like this always look so smooth on the video, and when I try them, my dog is a mess. So you have to understand that what we're showing here is a dog who's done that for a lot of times already. So you have to be patient. We only have that short time frame in that type of masterclass. So don't panic. Take your time with the individual steps. And there's even more nuances and details in the Hendrik 360 classrooms. But take your time. Don't worry if it takes a couple of training sessions until it looks as smooth. Everything that is shown with Prophet is very experienced already. So don't worry, don't panic. You will get there for sure. Okay, you can continue, Susie G.
And also, if you haven't done a lot of shaping yourself, even if your dog was very willing, there is going to be a little bit of a steep climb in your teamwork, in both the dog offering behaviors, you giving reinforcement appropriately. I've been doing this for 40 years, so I could take a dog and get them to get me that behavior super fast. You need to give yourself grace if this is something new for you, and step outside your comfort zone, which means be willing to not be perfect. Your dog doesn't care, because if you're not perfect, all that means is they're going to get a few extra cookies on their way to learning a new behavior. And that's okay. They don't mind. You also notice that I broke it up and played. If your dog doesn't play with a tug, that's fine. But don't just mindlessly give them cookies. You end up with a dog in a cookie coma, and we lose their drive for actual work. So I give 4 or 5 cookies. I avoid the cookie coma by stepping out and doing a little bit of tug. You can get your dog to jump in the air for hand touches, get them to chase you, get somebody to a restraint, keep their brain active by keeping their drive high, so that agility is about high drive. It's not about more cookies.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to give away a prize. I'm giving away a prize.
We had another Susan asking what the search queue is for, and that's for treats on the ground. So
Spotlight.
We call them spotlights. We do a lot of teaching of spotlights in Handling 360, and that's one of them. Look for cookies on the ground. Our dogs can't eat cookies off the ground until they hear the word search. Okay, look at the cool bait bag I was using, and it is super cool. It's got a little spot up front for your poop bags or your phone. LOH can fit her phone in there. My phone's a little bit too big for that one. There's another little zipper here where I put poop bags. And what I love about it, it's got a little, one of those magnetic clothes, because if you are like me and you have a bait bag that just opens and then you run and cookies fall all over, that's not good. This bait bag is made by Blue 9, who happened to be one of our sponsors, and it's called the Inspire Bait Bag. And we are giving this bait bag to yesterday's honorable mention for the gem, and it's Angelique Simmons, who wrote, "The first masterclass was super interesting. Thank you for this. I think there are a lot of things in this masterclass that can be helpful for a lot of people, also for experienced people. For example, the difference between a toy as a lure and a toy as a reward. I can't wait for the next class. I see you're here, Angelique. So congratulations." And I can't believe I almost forgot. We had some questions yesterday that I'm going to read them and you guys answer them, okay? So
right.
Kim had left these and I said we will get to them. Okay, will you talk about how to teach turns without props?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
What if your dog isn't toy motivated? I kind of just touched on that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this. Can you use barrels for this?
Barrels. What is a barrel? Is it like a cone or something?
I think it's this.
It's like a
yeah, it's like
So basically, what we're trying to teach now with the box and with all of that is that our dogs learn that the front side tie turns, that they can be as tight as possible. So
Correct.
That's the first thing we're going to do. If we're going to teach them on a big and wide object, is our dog actually turning very tight, or is our dog going in a circle? So I would not recommend, or we would not recommend, to do it in that way. Also, because the cues that we're using for our tie turns, they are only jump-related cues, only in the purpose of turning either to the right or to the left on the front side of a jump, because more clarity gives more confidence.
Exactly. Here's a question.
Is box not a prop? Yes, it is. But as we said, we do use props. And we're also going to show you how to fade the box. Because what we touched on in the beginning was that we don't want to stay with the prop. So we have to carry this box to every training we do for the dog to turn tight. The idea is that we use it as a help to teach the behavior, and then we want to fade it.
So we said we use props, but you notice that our props are about creating behavior. They're not about taking an agility obstacle and putting something on it to prevent the dog from doing something we don't want. We create behavior so that the dog does what we want whenever they do get to see a jump. So this is fun stuff you can do. In our next masterclass, Enya is going to bring out her puppy, and who has not seen a jump very many times, probably less than half a dozen times she's ever seen a jump, right? And is brilliant. She is not one of those handlers who's had the dog running between uprights or circling a wing or doing bars on the ground and chasing toys. No.
She never circled a wing in her life. And I think one other thing about the box as a prop that we find super important is that when we use a prop, we always want to give the dog the choice. So the box as a prop is always going to give the dog the choice to not be in the box. Like they could step out of the box, and that's not what we're going to reinforce. We're going to reinforce when the dog is in the box. If you, for example, use a barrier for a tight turn, that is not giving the dog a choice to do the correct behavior. It's forcing the dog to do the behavior. So it's more likely that when you remove that barrier, the behavior is not going to be there. But if you use the prop intentionally, where you use it and the dog still has a choice to not follow the prop, if that makes sense, then it's so much easier to see if your dog actually understands what you're teaching them.
Yeah.
And Kaylee said, yes, that makes sense. So you'll notice that when I first brought the box out, what did I do? Like, human nature is, I want to teach my dog to turn in the box. That is our goal. Human nature is to get the dog in the box and to make them turn in there. What did I do? I said, you're in the box, get out of the box. Well, there's cookies when I come in that box. Okay, you're in the box, get out of that box. Now, am I making that dog like that box more?
I want to get in there.
Exactly. So that all of our training in Handling 360 is about creating excitement in the dog, wanting to keep playing this game with us. And we go, no, that's it. That's it. So every week we send you 3 to 5 games that help build a part of the behavior that your dog's like, when are we going to do this agility stuff again? And you know, it's infectious for the dog. It's infectious for us. We love to see our dogs having so much fun. And then the bonus is you get incredible behavior at the end of it when it all comes together. Okay, so I am going to go back, put on my handy dandy bait bag again. We'll do another round. Oh,
while you're
sorry.
doing that, I saw a couple of really cool questions here in the chat room.
Okay, good.
So one is, where is it? I just saw it. Here. How do we transition?
Can you guys highlight them? Click on that comment. See if it shows up for you.
I can't.
Oh.
It's only possible for you. But how do we transition the directional training that we're learning here if we already taught the relational cues? The good thing is, the way we are teaching these behaviors away from obstacles is not in any relation to the jump right now. Meaning, by the time we're actually transitioning it to the jump, it will be easy peasy. And your relational cues, they are just dead. Because the other ones are going to be so strong, you never want anything else.
Yeah. I just read a comment from Amanda. I can't press it, so it shows up on the screen, but it says, we don't look anywhere near as clean, but we have made more progress in a month of handling 360 than a year of agility classes. My dog loves the games, and I will find him staring at the gate to our training pen.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love that.
Corinna had a great point. If I moved closer, that you'd be able to see more. So I'm trying to move the box closer and still be in shot. Okay.
And would we use this method on a dog who's not a puppy anymore? Yes. We would use that for all the dogs. All right, Susan, you can go for it.
Prophet says, thank you, Serge. And remember from video 1, strike. I always warm up with getting my dog to see if they're flexible in both directions. That's my warm up every time I'm going to do this. Okay, so now my dog knows to go in a box. He's happy to go in the box. Now I'm going to try to combine what we did in video 1 with this, with getting in the box. You're supposed to be getting in the box right now. Thank you. Okay, good. So I'm just going to give him his cue. Thank you. Lee, 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 cook. Then he steps out. When he's done, that's fine. I'll wait till he gets back in. Good. Lee, 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 cook. You can drop the cookies on the ground. Lee, lee. You were turning the wrong way, weren't you? Lee, lee, lee.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm watching his feet and not thinking of his direction. Lee, lee, good boy. You can put them in the box to help build more value for the box, or you can hand them to your dog. Lee, 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 lee. All right. Now, feel free, search. Feel free, strike, to use your hand if you're still at that stage. Like I said, this is a small box. This is the only one I had around the house. Mine. So yours would be quite a bit bigger. You don't want your dog to come out of it. So feel free to use your hands. Ideally, his feet don't come out. Lee, lee, lee. You drunk? Good. Good. The nice thing about doing this with a box that has sides is that the dog won't step outside the circle. They tend to keep their pivot nice and small. Good.
Notice how
and they're less likely to
behavior if all 4 paws are in the box.
Good boy.
And also what we see here when Prophet is turning in this small box, that again we want to mention it if anyone just came in, that this is not the box that we would start with. This is more advanced. But what you can see here is the body control he has in the turn. And that's exactly what we're going to need for the dog to execute a tight turn on a jump in a safe way, is for the dog to have that he wants back in the box, to have that body control. And I think that was, even if the box is quite small, I think that was very clear with the small box, the control he has around his shoulder when he's doing the turn.
Okay, Fet, come here. You can help it up. Thank you.
So Christina is asking, can I use 2 Kato boards tied together to make a square instead of a box? There are no sides though.
And then this is another question. Can I use a raised target instead of a box? I would not do it because the dog can easily step off of it and there's no consequence. They don't even realize they're stepping off of it. When I started with Prophet, obviously he was very little, but the box was bigger and the sides were higher. I would say the sides, you don't want them like higher than the dog's elbow for sure. Somewhere between the hock and the elbow would be a great size. And then when he was a puppy, he didn't turn very tight to his left. He turned tighter to his right. And so he would kind of bang into the sides of the box going to his right, the other way around, going to his left, but he never touched them going the way that he felt comfortable. So I love this because you can keep this box around the house. You can go anywhere you want with it. And you're just practicing, rehearsing great behavior away from obstacles, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. It seems like it's a good fitness exercise. Yes, indeed. What I encourage you is watch your dogs. If you watch Prophet, if you go back and watch this video, you'll notice he does front paw, rear paw, front paw, rear paw. When I used to train this not in a box, like for example with Swagger, he would throw his front feet up in the air and just pitch his back end around. There was no control. There was no, and it was just, and going to his right, he would plant his right paw and throw his back end around that way. So it would twist his shoulder. This is thoughtful movement. Boom, boom. They move their front feet. They move their back feet. Keep your box nice and big so you get that. And then you make it smaller and smaller. Okay. Yes. So originally I said the box is about the length of the dog. That's a great place to start. How small do you want to go? Like that, I think is too small for an adult dog. Unless that would be fine for a Sheltie for sure. Maybe, and again, a dog that, Waffles, for example, who's American Bulldog and he's bully breed, he's not going to have the flexibility through his rib cage that Prophet does. So with Prophet, I can go a lot smaller. The goal is that your dog is intentionally walking. They're not, falling outside of that box. And don't be in a hurry. You want it, and keep it square. A lot of people, they have it rectangle, but then the dog learns to go long. You'll notice they'll go long in a direction that they don't feel comfortable turning, and then they'll go short and they'll turn tight the other direction.
Kathy said, do we always want to position ourselves with dog facing us? Yes, in this step, you do.
You want to. This is going, I'll show you at the end. So the part 3 of what we're doing today is how we're going to get them out of the front of us. But you want to get them in the front so that you can see what's going on and you can help them be successful. But once we move them away from the front, they don't ever go back there. That's important.
So we have one here from Michael and Tiffany. It's the math need in me wants to know if there's a formula to follow for the box size. And just easily measure from the shoulders of your dog to the beginning of their tail. And that's the length that you should start with. And remember, it should be rectangle. So same direction both ways.
Square.
Not rectangle, square. Sorry.
Yeah.
Second language, English. Same size in both directions. And that's where you start with. All right.
I love all the questions, but don't you guys love the fact that we are teaching you an elite agility skill and using a cardboard box? Like that's your high-end expensive prop. And you will be creating, like, not only you like when you start this, if your dog obviously bends one way lovely and doesn't bend the other, you see a physio, an osteo, a massage therapist. You get that, make sure that there is nothing functionally wrong, especially a puppy. Like puppies could have got stepped on when they were in the litter by the mother and created a little adhesion somewhere. It's, you know, it's not uncommon, but you can now identify it when they're young, rather than training them up till they're a year and a half or 2 years old and saying, wow, my dog really turns wide to the left and I don't understand why. We're identifying this now and helping to raise a balanced, strong dog that is capable of making those turns, that we're not forcing them with props to make those turns. They are physically capable of making those turns.
So I have
Ashley.
Packaging engineers loving everyone's newfound appreciation of the cardboard box.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if you guys, like, I know us three have seen it, but I don't know if the chat has seen my reel that I've posted about me going shopping for cardboard boxes with my 14-year-old neighbor who just has a puppy. So she was like, I told her, we need to go shopping. And she was like, what do we need to get for agility? I was like, cardboard boxes. You should have seen the look on people's faces when we went with our little stroller and we packed all of these cardboard boxes inside of that. That was insane. So
that's awesome.
I have a question for the chat and for everybody in there. So write in the comments if you see already the value in creating good behavior, great behavior away from obstacles. And if it doesn't make sense yet, write in why so we can clear that view. Write it in the comments. Does it make sense to you that we build great behavior away from obstacles? Okay, people write, I love your reel. It was funny. It was hilarious.
While they're writing, I'm going to read some more questions. What do I do if I have a dog that's super intense? She starts doing everything she can, barks as soon as she sees a treat or a toy. You guys know what to do with intense dogs. You both have them.
Sorry, I was reading
questions.
Sorry, Susan. Read it again.
Zandra says, what do I do if I have a dog that is super intense? She starts doing everything she can and barks as soon as she sees a toy or a treat.
Yeah, that's lack of understanding. So
a little bit of frustration.
And honestly, I have been told so many times in, like, for my terrier back in the day, for Make the Sheltie, and I've heard it from people coming to my seminars. My dog is so crazy. He just won't listen, all of that. And everything goes back to a lack of understanding, which causes frustration and which will drive the arousal level high. So usually lack of understanding can go in two directions. Either it will kill your dog's confidence or it will make them totally crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They don't listen. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe I wrote a book about my dog Buzz in 1996. And I believe if I had Buzz today, well, actually, I think Prophet is very, 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 he might be Buzz reincarnated, because Buzz was crazy, off his stick, crazy. Why? Because I was the first person that I knew of in the entire planet that decided I'm going to take this dog and train him without ever saying, no, wrong, or using a physical correction. I had that as my goal, and my plan was a completely blank slate. So I made a quadrillion mistakes, which caused so much frustration in that dog. Prophet, who was born in 2023. So 1996 to 2023, do you think I've learned a few things about how to do that? Prophet gets all the benefits in that nobody would ever think he's crazy and off his stick and acts. But Buzzy, he had that appearance because He was just misguided bundle of frustration. And so when you come into Handling 360, the first thing we do is help create clarity between you and your dog with very simple, effective games that helps your dog do this. Okay, we can go now.
No need to be frustrated. No need to stress because they understand. Yeah.
So different.
What I love is I see so many comments here that people absolutely get it, that it makes perfect sense to train away from equipment. And then
this
we have
one behavior in agility. Like this is our whole program is many, many, many behaviors that we teach this way. Yes.
Basically all of them. Like almost all of
agility.
Yeah. It is really away from obstacles. And I don't find it anymore, but I saw, here I have it. Why it happens. That's what Carla wrote. And it says, mistakes happen away from the obstacles. When obstacles come into the picture, the dog is confident in the behavior and it can be transferred to the obstacles. And that's exactly it. So Enya always talks about how the dogs learn in pictures and they see pictures. So if you put them in a picture and they struggle with it, or they have to, like, you need to use props for them to even like make it in some way, and then they will fail and they will have a problem with that. That picture is connected to the actual picture the dog is going to see later on. So untraining that is so difficult. Imagine if you put if you paint a picture and you paint a picture of a dog and then you try to make a mouse out of it. That's difficult. It's going to be very difficult.
Exactly. But also you're not rehearsing the wrong behavior where you actually want to use it later. If problems appear in your training, then it's not when you've already transferred it to the obstacle, because when we are on the obstacle, everything is smooth and easy. So you're also not rehearsing any type of mistake on the obstacle. I think another one that is really important is the safety, because when you put the dog on the obstacle, now we talk about tight turns, and if the dog doesn't know how to execute a tight turn safely, they might land very flat, they might land on their head or on their shoulders, they might crash the bar. There's so many things that they can do that can actually be harmful for them if they don't know how to execute it safely. And that's also why we want to teach that behavior away from the obstacle, so it's safe when we are asking the dog to do it on the obstacle. So many reasons. Oh, I think Susie is frozen. Oh, Susie's out. So many reasons why we want to teach the behaviors away from equipment. I mean, imagine, I know that there are some classes where on the first 1 or 2 lessons, they take the dog over the dog walk. Now we're talking about tight turns, but imagine taking your dog over the dog walk when the dog doesn't really know how to execute the obstacle. I mean, that's not safe. The dog can fall off, or there's so many things that can happen. So does she have to sing Frozen now? Yes, Steph.
Yeah.
Let it go.
So I'm just checking in our team channel that Susan has left the building. Well,
Susan left the building.
So it looks like offline. So I guess their internet is problematic, which is not a problem. She's back.
So you guys stayed here?
Yeah,
of course.
That's so cool. I'm now working off my phone. The internet just puked here. Oh. Brandon, what did you do?
I was just going to explain how we're going to keep talking, but we don't have any control anymore about any comments, like putting it on the stream or something like that. I think she's frozen again. Don't leave us alone. Okay.
Come on.
So,
I can hear you.
Tell your Wi-Fi to handle hard better.
I wanted to say something so important before I was so rudely interrupted. And that is, we talked about putting in effort now to make success easier later. And so what we do is we do all of this training away from obstacles. And it appears that we're putting all this effort into a box. A box has nothing to do with agility. We're putting all this effort into other things. But what we're doing is we're building handling skills for our dogs. In agility, there's two parts. If you're new to agility, there's two parts of agility. There's the handling, where the dog learns what your movements and your arms and your words. The dog learns all of that. You learn how the mechanics control the dog around the course. That's the handling. And there's the dog training, to teach the dog to wait at the start line, to turn tight, to jump long, to go to the backside. So we want to put in all the effort now as trainers, so we have success later as handlers. But if you don't put in that success and you work more of, I want to use my props so that my dog will just go to the backside because the props are there, then you're going to have success now, but you're going to have to balance when you're running your dog. Am I a trainer? Do I have to help them get to the backside? Or can I be a handler? Can I run ahead to the next obstacle? Ooh, do I have to help them turn tight? Do I have to be a trainer now? Can I just, I can't. So I can't do that because I can't run very fast. I need the confidence to know training has been done. I am now a handler. And that's where you want to make sure that you are putting in effort now to build clarity, build confidence, and build joy for your dog. And we're giving you that here on All in Tight Turns. I hope that makes sense for you guys.
Yeah. And
LOH says we need to give the link to the masterclass. In case there are people who are not in the masterclass, there is the link for it.
You get all of the handouts and everything in there. So it makes sense for sure. And so I saw a comment and it makes total sense. And I think we should quickly jump on it. It says, the agility classes I take have to work on an accelerated schedule, especially considering how bad the weather is on some agility days. Pretty much all the dogs who take the course kind of get it, but I've always thought it would be better to take more time on some things. So we're never here to bash any in-person classes, because like I'm teaching my regular classes still, and I'm doing private lessons, especially for Handling 360 students, by the way. And I don't want to say like that has its place, but I can tell from my personal experience as a coach, and I'm very confident in my ability to teach dogs and teach people. But what you learn once a week in my regular training can never replace the amount of learning that you need and the amount of learning that is in Handling 360. So basically the people who come to me every week, they know that. So they do that additionally. It's not, and I'm going to give them whatever I can give them in that moment, but the lessons, like, you just can't match the information stream.
No, and you remember this, what you were telling us this morning about you had students that came in from all the way from Singapore to have lessons with you?
Yeah.
That's a great story for people to hear.
I've had people from Singapore here during the week, and today I had two people that they had a lesson yesterday and one lesson today. And the amount of trainers and training places in Singapore are not very many. So they said to me that we've been very focused on building the correct foundations for the dog. We don't want to rush things. The dog was 16 months old, and we want to learn the foundations. So I think over 2 days, we did maybe one sequence of 4 to 5 obstacles. Other than that, we did only dog training. And fundamental dog training like we do here, like building behaviors that can later transfer into agility. And we also talked about the fact that driving to training, or even coming to private lessons with me, like in 10 lessons, I can't teach as much as that would be 5% of what you get in the program.
Right.
And you have to first transport yourself and your dog to me. And also this young dog, 16 months old, we can't work that dog for an hour.
Right.
But
I can't watch any dog for an hour, really.
no, you can't. And like he said, with the lessons in the program, you can do 2 or 3 minutes. You set the timer, you have the PDF, and you're following your checklist. And then in tomorrow you can do another short session. And yeah, it's not like, we do love the classes and we do teach them, but it can't really compare to the program. It's a great addition, like Max said. It's a great addition.
Going to in person, seeing you in person is, yeah.
Absolutely. But there is no way. Every time I get questions, I have this young dog, I want to train it with you from the beginning. I tell them in 10 lessons, that's the price of the program. So take the program, and then you come to me for additional every now and then, and you get so much more value, and you can work on your dog's individual pace.
Exactly.
So
we'll talk more about that because we are going to open up registration for Handling 360 next week. We'll talk more about what that looks like for you as a member in our community. But the thing is, for you to make this intentional decision, does growing behavior away from obstacles make sense to you? Is that the way you want to raise your agility dog? Do you want to commit to being a trainer outside of the ring so you can be a handler inside the ring? If you're going to an agility trial anytime in the next week, look at how many people are trying to be trainers while they're in the ring, supposedly being handlers. And it will blow your mind how many are trying to train because behaviors are not fully understood by the dog. So true. Okay, question. Does a dog have to understand the cues Lili or without hand movement before we start in the box? No. You can help them grow that understanding in the box. It'll just help. What I love about the box, again, Swagger was a dog that I taught without the box. I did all of this. And what I found is the turns would get super wide and go all over the floor. My dogs are learning a specific area. For you, the dogs are going to learn right at your side. We'll talk more about that later, but it's very specific, and it's just such a benefit to have that. My dog already knows the cues: twist for counterclockwise and spin for clockwise. Should I keep these cues and use new ones for agility? So these are turn on the flat cues, Beverly. Keep them. Keep them. If you know, you saw that I screwed up my Lilian while I was out here doing a demo. Keep those cues for the turns on the flat.
Yeah.
And we'll share with you as this masterclass progresses. We'll share with you what role those cues, they aren't like, you're not going to toss them away. You will still use them in the course of handling your dog in agility, but they just will be associated with turns on the ground, not over an obstacle.
Another one, if my dog already has tight turn cues, but I want to retrain it, should I choose new cues? Yes, in that case, it's a good idea to choose new cues. But in that case, it sounds like she already has tight turn cues on a jump. And for the previous question that you did, Susan, she had turns on the flat already. So that would be the difference.
So a lot of people have asked, can we do this with a puppy? This was with a young puppy. I always focus on, like, this is something you can do with a puppy, but I like to focus on amazing recall, tug drive, the spotlights, retrieve. I focus on all of those things. So my puppies are probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 months old when I get to doing these sorts of things. Because by then I have a great retrieve, I have a great recall. My dog has some value. I mean, reinforcement zone is something we build gradually, but your relationship comes before anything with a puppy. So all we are doing for the first few weeks, couple of months, is building that relationship, which should be also building a recall, which should be also building a retrieve. So that's what I would focus on. And then, yes, this is an exercise that you can add to your puppy's education for sure. Okay, why don't we talk about, because we're getting, again, short on time. This is what happens when the three of us get together. We just get short on time on. Let's talk about the mechanics of the perfect front cross. What does that look like? Okay.
The perfect tight turn.
Oh, tight turn, sorry.
Like, we're talking front cross? Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
There we go.
So, number 1, the dog commits to the jump. So you give the information, you give the cue, your dog's locking in the jump, and nothing in the world would stop the dog from doing that task. That's the first thing that's going to happen.
Yeah, the second one is the dog decels prior to jump, and the prior is super important because we want the dog to turn before they take off. We did touch on the last live, we did touch on the target on the wing, and we said the reason why we wouldn't do the target on the wing is because that would teach the dog to decel after landing. And we want to see that the dog is decelling prior to the jump to execute the tight turn. Now we're doing it with directionals, or clockwise or counterclockwise. But sometimes you could see that the dog is almost turning on the flat after the jump. That's not what we want. We want them to decel and turn around the wing.
Yeah.
So in a perfect world, your dog doesn't, if this is, well, let me just use my little jump that I did here. So if we've got, an obstacle, jump number 1, jump number 2, jump number 3, we don't want the dog running all the way up here and then having to, do a Fred Flintstone turn and then go back to 3. We want them, because we've given them their tight turn cue, we want them to be decelling before they get to the jump. And this is how a dog shows you that they understand what your tight turn cue means, that they will start to think about this turn before they get to here. They're not going to land here and then go, oh yeah, you're turning. Right. So decel, and the next part of that is they've taken a little bit off the gas pedal. When they go up over the bar, their head is turning in the direction that you told them that we're going to be going next. So that's another part of the anatomy of this beautiful mechanics of the dog's tight turn.
Yeah. And then we have the commitment, we have the deceleration, we have the rotation of the head into the turn. And that ideally comes with a low focus over the bar. So if we imagine this bar right here, I'm going to use my magic wand again. So if we have the bar over here and the dog's going to the next situation, we don't want them to go higher. We want them to we want them to focus low while they are over the bar. There's multiple reasons for that. Number 1, the quicker we're landing, the quicker we can accelerate again. Number 2, if they are looking down, they can prepare for the landing, which is much safer. And number 3, they will also less likely drop the pole, because automatically what happens, you can test it yourself if you're in like a swimming pool. If your head goes low, your feet come up.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the dog lands close to the wing. Like I did mention a little bit, that they are not turning on the flat after the jump, but they have this low focus and rotates the head, and they land close to the outside of the wing and then accelerates out of the turn. That would be like the perfect tight turn.
So imagine if before you ever let your dog see a jump, you taught them what we're teaching you now, tight turns on the flat. They have this understanding of what that means. Do you think that would make it easier or more difficult to do all of the things on this list? Do you think they'd be they'd be able to rotate their head in the direction of the turn easier, or would they keep looking forward? Would they get their focus low? Like, obviously, we are giving you the tools so that you're hedging your bets that your dog is more likely going to be able to do all these things that create a beautiful tight turn. And that's our goal for you.
I saw someone said, what words do you use in Swedish, Enya? So my tight turn cues are left and right. So I use L and R on the flat.
Very Swedish.
Very Swedish.
Very. No, she would, if she was going to be more Swedish, I think one should be IKEA. IKEA.
And ABBA. IKEA and
NABBA.
ABBA.
IKEA and ABBA. That's what your turns on the flat should be. Okay. Now, I think that we are probably going to be teaching or preaching to the choir, but I would like you guys in the comments to join us as we prepare a list as to why it's better to create brilliant behavior away from obstacles versus doing it on the obstacles. So leave your comments. Why do you think this is a better, why do you think this is better for the dog? So we just gave you one.
It's like you gave it away.
That's one. So there's so many layers. Safer for the dog, 100%.
Yeah, safety, less risk of injury.
Clarity. Great understanding. They don't get injured as easy, for sure.
I'm going to jump in with Michelle's question. How do you teach deceleration prior to the jump, whether I'm there or not? Michelle, the dog understands the cue. They will decelerate. When they're not showing you deceleration, it shows a lack of understanding of the cue.
Yeah.
And when we teach the cue this way, you get the understanding. Honestly, I've been teaching tight turns in this similar way for more than 25 years. I've not ever had an agility dog that didn't turn tight.
Yeah. Lynn is asking, how do you see all these things? I think she means when we talked about the mechanics of the perfect tight turn.
Right.
Are you videoing or can you see it with your eyes? My dog runs so fast, it's over before it begins. I think some things like the dog landing close to the wing or the dog decelerating prior to the jump. I think this you can train yourself to see. We do always video our sessions. So it might be that head turn is something that we will look at afterwards in slow motion to see, oh, my dog did turn their head at that stage. But I would like them to turn it a little bit earlier, or I would like the focus a little bit lower. But for example, where your dog is landing, that's something that you can see. You will see, is my dog going flat over the bar and then turning on the ground after, or is my dog landing close to the wing? And as you say, my dog is so fast, it's then you can look for the decel. If your dog is a very fast dog, then start by seeing, is my dog taking away that speed to execute the turn? That would be the first thing that I would look for.
Yeah, and also ideally, if you've trained the foundations very well, then I would say most likely your turns will be good. And with continued good reinforcement, which we talked about in the last live about placement of reinforcement, you will keep them alive. I promise you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have less confusion for dog.
Uh-oh. Susan's internet is playing up again. Here we go. Okay. So some of our things, we're isolating. Sorry. When you're isolating the layers, you can fix it. So I can't remember the name of the commenter who said, how do I get my dog to decelerate? Well, if I know that my dog will turn tight in the box, but when I get out of the box, they're not turning tight, then I know that I'm not going to have success when they're running towards a jump. So I'm going to say, is there a physical problem with my dog? Is my dog looking for reinforcement? Am I placing, when I'm doing the turns, am I always feeding my dog with her head up? Do you notice that I often put the cookies in the box for Profit? That's getting him turning and thinking about looking down. Like all of those things are going to help because we're isolating that layer. So if my dog was turning with their head up, I would go back to the box and I would do more turns, cookie in the box, turn, cookie in the box. You've got those different layers that you can go back and fix in isolation.
Kaylee said, will this box method also help with tight turns as well as wing wraps? But that's what we mean when we say tight turns. We mean the wing wraps.
Correct.
Yeah, but in case you mean backside wing wraps, we're not going to focus on backsides, but if you teach tight turns in general like that, your dog will have such a good understanding of collection that it's so much easier to transfer to any sort of obstacle that you need collection on, like a tunnel or something.
And in Handling 360, we have we have additional ways on backsides that we get those turns tight. So we create it on the front side, but backside mechanics are completely different. So there are additional things that we have to do to help the dog there as well. Okay, so focusing away from the obstacle, it also, as I think Max mentioned, that it prevents building in the trigger of wide. Like I see a jump, I'm going at it and I just fly, go long. When I land, I then turn my head and think about turning. We're building in all of the good triggers. So and that's why we've talked about it over and over again. The three of us don't do, agility with puppies with bars on the ground because they're just creating habits that you have no idea what they're creating. They're learning to run through, they see a set of wings as a trigger and they're learning, I see those wings, I run. Well, what we need from them as agility dogs is to weight shift and get air over the bar. So there's so many reasons, like you are building in triggers when you are adding reinforcement to anything in agility. So it can't be unconscious. It's got to be intentional. Don't just go through and habitually play with a puppy. You're always teaching them something. Is it something that you're going to have to unteach them because they're learning a bad habit that's going to affect your career down the road?
Yeah, it's so much more difficult to untrain something than to train it properly from the beginning. Tools for daily rehearsal of this and that. This and that
I'll demonstrate that after, before we leave. I'll demonstrate that with Profit before we leave.
Yeah. Because the this and that's are something that we use throughout the entire program of Handling 360. The this and that is basically one behavior versus another behavior. So what you've been training now with your spins, you've been training one spin to the left and one spin to the right. And when the dog understands it on a verbal, you can test the this or that if they can separate the verbal for the left turn versus the right turn. Yeah. So it's a great game that you can play away from equipment, anytime, every day.
And imagine how many repetitions you save your dog by training it like that. Then we have less stress on the dog's body. That's what I'm getting at. You can train these things on a daily basis without doing it on equipment, which means that your dog doesn't have to jump 10 lefts and 10 rights every day in order to get things in, because you can do that on your walk. You go on a walk and then after like 15 minutes of walking, that's something you do, and then you go through the rest of your walk. So you just include it in your daily life. There
were two really good questions here. Number one is, how long will these masterclass videos be available to rewatch? When the masterclass ends, which is I don't remember the date, but in like about 8 days, I'm not sure. Somebody on the team will put the date in. The masterclass videos go inside of Handling 360 for our students. So you can watch them, but if you decide to join us, then you have access to them for the next year. Pardon me? October 8th, Chelsea says. Okay, this is a really good point, and I'm going to give you a visual answer to this. I am really pro cues. I assume you mean verbal cues. But your body language is something dogs look for first. How do you cope with that? So I'm going to go over and I'm going to do a little demonstration. And I want you to tell me, which way do you think I'm going to get my dog to turn? So I've got to change the camera to, there we go. Okay. So I'll bring the jump out. And okay. So if I'm sending
Susan?
my dog, oh, yes, Max?
I was just thinking, if you show something with handling, maybe it makes sense to go big screen and kick us out for a moment so people can see your full body.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to kick you out.
See you in a minute.
Boom, boom. Okay, so I want you guys to tell me what direction, you're my dog and I'm handling. Write in the comments, what direction do I want my dog to go right now? With my body is key. So what direction? Oh my gosh. This is crazy. So now all the power is gone.
Oh
my
God. It went dark?
Yes. Everything is black here.
So which direction did she go? Guess.
Oh my gosh, wait a minute. Chelsea's got the concert studio lights on me. All right. So we'll leave everybody with that thought.
Everyone says right.
So everybody's saying right. Okay. It's interesting that light's still on. Can you put that on the jump and I can maybe still do this demo? So everybody is saying, no, keep it, just pull it over there and put it on. So it lights up the jump area so I can still do my demo.
Yes, I love where you're going with this.
Okay.
It's like a spotlight.
I wonder if the camera isn't as powerful. So let me see if I brought this camera over. Oh, I know. Chelsea, here. I got another plan. Can you move those, please?
So as you can see, there's always an adventure that awaits you if you're in our community.
Why are they not?
People keep saying right, at least.
Yes, we have some left.
For the love of God. I thought I had a great idea because the blind is down. I'll put the blind up, but you need power to put the blind up.
Oh.
Yes, we need light, Brandon. Brandon's like, do you need help? Oh. Brandon walks in and we have light. Okay.
He's a stunny man.
He is a funny man. All right. So everybody said, if we keep in mind that body language is something dogs look for first. So I asked you, what was I asking of my dog? And everybody agreed I was asking my dog to turn right. Come here, buddy. So I'm going to put him over here. Ready? Loop, 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 loop. Why did he not turn right?
Because the verbal is stronger than the body.
Because we intentionally put effort in first. We put effort in first so that we could have success down the road. We put effort in so that the dog will turn in the direction of our verbal cue. Now I can't even get this thing to change camera. This is the worst technology.
And that's what we call a verbal override, is when the training that we put on the dog is creating that the verbal cue is stronger than the body. And some of you might think, but why would I want the dog to turn left there when I'm putting so much pressure to the right? And the main reason is because we don't want the dog to turn away from us on pressure. We want the dog to turn away from us when we ask them to turn away from us with our verbal cue. But imagine if we all the time turn the dog away from us on pressure, but then we had a situation similar, to what Susan showed here, where she needs to come into the jump and asking for a left turn, then every dog that was turned away from us on pressure would go to the right. Yeah. So anytime we needed to come close to the wing and pick up the dog in the same hand, then they would flick away from us.
Yeah. So our verbal cues need to be so strong that everything we're doing with our body is a support. But if we can't deliver the support, the foundation is so strong that our dogs know exactly what they are doing. So that's the coolest thing. And I can talk from my own experience. I would say I'm a fast runner, but I'm not the fastest runner. So, but I want to be in the places to do things. So if I have verbal override for a situation which Susan just showed, I can be at the next obstacle to do a blind cross. Even if I'm not, for example, as fast as Enya is, but I'm going to be there because I have that verbal override. So watch out, Enya.
And Amanda says, it's so easy to give the wrong body language accidentally, and the verbal can save you. If we're doing it only on body cues, then, I mean, we need to be perfect in our handling. We need to make sure that we are in the perfect position with the perfect shoulder rotation, with the perfect arm extension. And if we have well-trained verbal cues, then even if we're not perfect with our bodies, the dog can do what we're asking.
For somebody like me, who absolutely cannot run anywhere near the speed of this dog, I have to be able to say, take that jump and I'm going to run as fast as I can in the opposite direction, because I need a hope and a prayer of getting a little further down the line. That's why we teach our tight turns the way we're teaching now, because in the olden days, we used to teach on the pressure. When I put pressure in this direction, I want you to turn away. I don't want them to turn away. I want them to turn the way I need them to turn. What most people would do in this situation that I just showed you is they would have to, can I have my toy? They would have to wait for their dog. Loop, 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 loop. And then they could run. But my dog is going to catch up to me. I don't want to have to wait. If my dog's on this side, and I'm running that direction, loop, loop, loop. I should be able to say, loop, 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 and keep running in that direction. Yeah, I fooled you. I fooled you. All right. So we need our dog that, like, yes, body language is what the dogs follow first, but that's where you put in effort to create a communication system that doesn't limit you when you can't outrun your dog. How many of you people that are still on this live can outrun your dogs? Because even as fast as Max and Enya are, they can't even outrun their dogs.
No. And
so it's important, super important.
Yeah.
Great question.
Yeah. We have someone that says the dog will also know more clearly where it's going. It doesn't need to check in to check your body language.
Which is faster and more clear.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, let's grow our homework with our tight turns, because I think we've got you all on board. We're going to train brilliance away from the equipment so that we have the opportunity to be a handler when we are on equipment. So now we're going to carry on with our box training. Here we go. And hope that all of the mechanical problems that we've had are done. Okay. So we left where we were at the end. The dog was in front of us. We now want to get you out of the picture. So our goal is to have the dog here, and you can say lee, 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 good boy, or okay, that's our goal. But if you went from here and went all the way over to here, your dog will get confused. So what you're going to do is you're going to start. Can you get in the box, please? Thank you. You're going to start by going, and as your dog is turning, you're going to move. You can move a little bit more. So you can come back here. Get your bum. Come here. Get it. I know it's a little bit, little. So that allows you to move while they're doing a job. Spend a lot of time giving them their cookies in this position. A mistake people make is they only turn them to the right when the dog's on the right and only turn them to the left when the dog's on the left. You've got to get both. Lee, yeah, I fooled you. And can you please get in that box? Lee.
He's right.
Sorry,
Susan,
He's right.
So that's your homework. Get your box at your side. Eventually, you're going to walk through life, mine, close, where you can walk your dog down the street and you can go straight. And that's the this and that we spoke about. Mine dog is better at this and that than I am tonight, apparently. Lee, strike. Yeah, mine.
And
you see how he's staying at my side. Mine. Lee. He's staying where he would if he had a box. He's not spinning out here. This is where we want our dogs when we're handling agility. We don't want them cutting across our path. So this is just mine. Side. A little this and that game. Lee. I got you. Side. Lee. Yay, strike. Good boy. Mine. Strike. Good boy.
And one thing that is important with this position, why we move the dog to the side, is because when you saw that Prophet was in front of Susan, that is not the realistic picture where we will ask for a tight turn to the left or to the right on a jump. The dog will never be facing us when we ask them for a tight turn on the jump. So when we move the dog to the side, it's going to be more likely that this is the angle that they have. They need to be able to execute the left and the right when they are next to us, on both sides to both directions, like you saw.
Yeah. Awesome. So, should we review the 4 steps that we've done so far?
I'll just answer this question. It doesn't combine with perch work. Perch work is another thing that you'll do that helps build reinforcement zone, but perch work isn't really related to this. It's another great exercise for body work. Okay, so our step 1.
So, the first thing that we did is we're going to turn our dogs in front of us by luring or supporting them in the directions. So we don't want to make big circles. Yeah, you can use the nose target stick. So good. We want to make them turn in the directions, followed by, we're delaying that a little bit with adding a verbal cue. So we'll point out for sure that if you're doing that, and it can't be mentioned often enough, because as humans, we want to go, look, this is how you do it. But we want to get out of that stage as quick as possible. And we want to be like, Lily, and then we deliver a support of the hand.
And then our next is the introduction of the cue. And then we want to eventually eliminate the box. But you don't want to be in a hurry to that, because we want to make sure we got a dog who can turn to the left or to the right, all on our sides, right? So you guys are probably not going to get that this week, but you're going to, and you might want to just work on one direction at a time. But I would encourage you to, if you're working on the left, say I'm just going to work on Lily. Work on the Lily dog on left, work on Lily dog on right, so that they experience both. Lily means turn away from you and towards you, depending on what side they're on. Super important that this isn't relational. It's not about doing something in relation to your body. It's not, Lily isn't always spin away from you. And, it's all about the dog feels comfortable doing it on either side, and you feel comfortable doing on either side. Eventually, we're going to be adding this to a jump. That's way down the road. We've got more layers. We're going to put in this in our next masterclass. But you will have the skills to be able to put all these layers together and start to teach your dog that tight turn on a jump. Okay. We shared the gem, and I forgot to say what Sarah won. Oh. Sarah won this epic and awesome tunnel bag. Like there's 2 of them from Galligan. Sarah, it's going to have your name. It's going to have your dog's name. It's going to have Handling 360 logo on that. So big hearts for Galligan. And we're going to give away another one. So all that you have to do is either go to the masterclass where you can download all of the great handouts, including the Focus Forward one. You can rewatch any of the videos, video 1, video 2, all of them are going to be there in the lobby of the masterclass. So leave your gem there, leave your gem or on the gem post on Facebook, or if you're watching this on YouTube, once the replay shows up, you can write it on your gem there. So what was the big takeaway? What was the big aha for you today that you were like, oh, I never thought of that. Oh, I get this now. Let us know. I just want to give a really super shout out to our 3 sponsors. So For My Merles, Galligan, and Blue 9. We're giving away another tug toy, aren't we? Oh, right here in front of me. Yeah. So congratulations to Janet Pintar. You are winning a tug toy, like the one I've been working profit with all day today.
Awesome.
So thank you. And another big shout out to our team. Everybody behind the scenes working so hard to make this amazing masterclass for everybody. We appreciate you so much. Thank you to all of you still here, 90 minutes plus of a masterclass. Love your feedback, love your comments, love your questions, and please join us next Monday. Next Monday will be class number 3.
That's exciting.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We love reading your gems. Be sure to share them.
Enthusiasm. I can't wait to look at the gems tomorrow.
It's awesome. Okay, we'll see
you in the next live.